In this video, I'm going to explain about different methods that are defined under list in Python. So before explaining the program, first I will list out what are the different methods that are defined under list and how can we use them for what purpose. So here the presentation is available here. List methods. There is a method called append. So in my previous video, I covered three methods. One is pop method, pop with 0 arguments, pop with 1 argument. Another one is remove method, another one is delete method. Using these three methods, we can delete an item or element from the list. del is used when we know the index values, then go for del. If you want to remove a particular element based on its value, then remove off, we need to pass the element value. In case of pop function without arguments, by default it removes the last element in the list. Pop of index position, if you pass, that index position located element is deleted by using the pop with 1 argument. That is three things we covered in the last, three methods we covered. And the rest of the methods are append. Because lists are mutable, we can modifiable, we can change them. One function is called append. Here A is nothing but name of the list. So don't confuse here. A is nothing but name of the list. This is called append. So what you are going to add? So it appends element obj. So obj means that is the element value. That element is going to be added to the original list. If you want to remove all the elements, we can use clear method, which removes all elements from the list. If you want to maintain one more copy of the existing list, you have to apply copy function or the copy method on original list. If your list name is A dot copy. If your list name is L1, L1 dot copy. If your list name is L2, L2 dot copy. If you want to count how many elements are there in our, or if a particular element is repeated how many times, if you want to know a particular element is occurred how many times, so that element name you have to pass as an argument to the count function, then the count function returns of how many times that particular element is occurred in our list. And one more is extends. Extend is also, it's like an append, but it here it appends the elements of a list to the end of the current list. If you want to add one more list, that list name we have to pass here, and this list and the previous list will be added. So the latest list is added after the previous list. If we want to find out the index position of a particular element, there is a method called index. Please look into this one: append function, append method, clear method, copy method, count method, extend, and index. Now I'm going to cover all these methods in a sample program. First we will open the IDLE. Open a new Python file. So create a list with set of elements. For example, now we are going to add few elements. L1 dot append $70. I'm going to add a new value, a new element to the previous list, that is L1, capital L. When I'm using capital, I have to use it capital L. If I'm using, when I'm declaring, if I'm declaring it like with lowercase, then I have to use lowercase. L1 dot append. First I will pass this, inside the print function, Before appending, first I am testing what is the original list elements. So before test this program, I need to save it in our respective directory. methods, list methods dot py. Just I'm going to test. You see here the second method is does not return anything. See why? Because the method doesn't hold any return type. If you want to view it, you have to remove this print function. Okay, after applying append operation, then we have to print the list again. So here append means this action or this operation is applied and that result is done in the background. It won't return anything to us. That's why when you are trying to print the value that is holded by this statement, returns as none, means it does not return anything to us. If you want to test whether the new element is added or not, after performing this operation, you need to print the list again. You see, the previous list is only holding the values like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Now the latest element 70 you added here. So append function or append method adds the element at the end of the list. What is the end of the list? 60. So after 60 it includes. Suppose for example, if I want to add now 60 and 70 are there. In between 60 and 70, I want to add 65. 65 means we need to start the index values like 0. This is located at 0. This is located at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need to place 65 at the 6th index. If I want to get in between 60 and 70 means I need to use the 6th index. Now I'm using L1 dot inset of index value. See, when I'm placing the here, it is showing two things: index comma object. That means the first argument is index. What is the index? 6. What is the element we are going to add it? 65. In between 60 and 70, I want to display a new element that is called 65 at the position 6th index. So like this. So this is also not written anything to us. So we need to print to check it whether the newly added element is located 6th index or not after printing the all items in the original list. So once we made any changes, every time we have to save it. Run this. You can observe in between 60 and 70 I got 65. So what is the difference between append function and inset? Append function will add the element at the end of the list. Inset function will add at the specified position based on the index value. Index method is expecting two arguments. The first argument is representing the index value. The next argument is representing the target element which we are going to insert into the original list. This is append is covered, insert is covered. Now, if I want to maintain a copy, then we have a function or a method called copy method. So this function results whatever the elements that are available as of now, though all those elements are assigned to L2. So if you want to test a list of items of L2, we can do this. Like after performing copy operation, we are testing what are the elements in L2. You can see this is these are the elements of L1. These are the elements of L2. For our understanding purpose, we can keep a description message like this: L2 elements. L2 elements means listed 2 elements. Similarly, before printing the list L1, we are printing L1 elements. Here we need to change L1. Next. And here after appending we are printing. So here also we are going to provide a message like after appending. After append new element. This is after insert. So I'm copying this statement. Here we need to change it to L1. Why? Because our target list is L1 here. So we need to print L1 here. Here also it is L1, but here the function is insert. So after insert new element. After insert new element at what index? At sixth index. Sixth index is pointing to the seventh element. And after copying this one, again I want to repeat a few values. Suppose in the original list only, I am going to repeat suppose 40, 40, again 40, because I want to find out the occurrence of the 40, how many times a particular element is occurred in our list. That is I'm trying to find out. For example, this I changed something in the I yeah means a particular element is repeated many times, occurred many times. If you see 40 here, 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 and not only 40, we can repeat all items many times. So for testing purpose, just I'm repeating 40 many times, and I want to test how many times that 40 is. So L1 dot count of what? 40. So L1 dot count function returns. Why? Because it is trying to count some number. It is trying to find out the occurrence of the particular element, and it returns something to us. That is called actually a number. So we can store it in count. We can give any values. So print number of occurrences element 40 is holded in the variable count. As I told you that if something is enclosed in double quotes means that is printed as it is at the time of generating output. If something is not enclosed in double quotes means the value that is holded by this variable is printed at the time of displaying the output. So once we made any changes, immediately save the application and run the program. You see, previously I did not provided description. Now I provided. So initial list is this one: 10, 40, 20, 30, 40, 50, 40, 60, 40. And after applying the append function, using append function, I try to add 70. So that is added. And in between 60 and 70, I am interested to add one more element, that is 65. The next one, L1 elements. After applying insert operation, again I'm printing what are the elements in L1 and what are the elements in L2. L1 elements and L2 elements, and finally I find out how many times the 40 is occurred. So how many times it is occurred? 1, 2, 3, 4, 40. Suppose if I want to find out how many times the digit 30, if I given in place of 40, if I given 30, 30 is occurred only one time in my application, in my list. So then it returns only one time. So if I forget to change the description message, still it is showing 40. So I need to change it. 30. This one. So number of occurrences of the element 30 is only one time, whereas coming to 40, it repeated 4 times. And so here L1 elements means before applying the copy operation, these are the elements of L1. And after applying the copy operation, L2 holds the same set of elements that are held by L1. Why? Because we applied the copy operation. Now, so for example, I want to delete L2. I want to delete L2. How can I do it? So print L2 dot clear. See, actually this function does not return anything to us, so it says none. Now, that means it does not return anything to us. So it simply applies an operation on the original list L2. So then in the next line we try to print L2, then an empty set empty list is printed. If you try to test what are the items in L2, it prints an empty list. You can see empty list is represented by using open square bracket and close square. That indicates that what are the elements that are holded by L2, all are cleared, all are removed successfully. Now there are no more elements in the list L2. So I applied append function, I applied clear function, I applied copy function, I applied count function, and I try to apply index. If I try to find out the index of a particular element, that I can do it with the help of print of L1 dot index of which element I am trying to find. So for example 50. So it returns a number. That number is called index position of the target value. So here it is 50 is located at 5. You can count here. 10 is located at sorry, L2 is deleted. Yeah, 10 is located at 0, 40 is at 1, 20 is at 2, this is at 3, this is at 4, and this is at 5. So 50 element index value is 5. So what I given in the program, I given 50. That is the reason it returns the index value as 5. So in this way we can apply different set of methods like append method, insert method, copy method, count method, clear method, and index method. There are few more methods are there still. So I will show you. So pop method, we already used this method. Pop method, remove method, and reverse I did not use. Short function also not use. I will try to apply both the functions. See, reverse one. Reverse is used to print the elements of a list in the reverse order. Reverse elements of the list. And short function, if you have the all the elements are alphabets, I mean strings, then it will arrange them in the alphabetical order. If all the items are numeric, then it will arrange them in the ascending order. So I am going to apply reverse function as well as the short function on the original list. So print L1 dot reverse. Before this, I just am displaying a description message, reverse order of list L1. Reverse order of list L1. So there is yeah, missing closing double quotes. That is the reason it is showing error. Reverse order of L1. See, reverse function is also not written anything to us. None only. So here, after applying each operation, we need to test the set. Suppose after applying the reverse function, after that we need to print what are the latest elements of L1. Now, only the count function returns directly, but remaining all methods, we need to apply the method. In the next case, we are trying to print the result. Please remember this one. See, reverse order of what is the original order? This one 10, 40, 20, 30, 40, 50, 65, 40, 60, 40, 70. Reverse order is reverse order. Last element is printed first, last second, last third, last fourth, last fifth. Like that, the reverse, exact reverse order of all items of L1 is printed in this one. This one. And one more last function, that is we need to apply sort. I want to sort out the elements. So first I will apply the function, then I need to test it. Before displaying the result, I am providing a description message to the end user, so users can understand that what is the output is representing. So that is sorting order. So I saved it, I run the program. You can see Ascending order. Smallest element is printed first, biggest element is printed last. If the same element is repeated four times, all four elements are printed as part of the out. See, remember, list data structure accepts duplicates. List data structure is accepted duplicates. This thing you have to remember, and list elements are enclosed in square brackets, and lists are mutable. We can modify them. So these points we have to remember when we are dealing with list data structure in Python.